Hey people, in this video I'm gonna show you how easy it is to contribute to the best Azure DevOps extension, which is Retrospective extension. Retrospective, according to the Wikipedia, is a Latin word that means looking back. But what does it mean? In an agile world, the Scrum team for a project works in iterations. In each iteration, a group of work is selected from the backlog and the goal is to finish them all before the iteration ends. To use the correct terminology, I'm going to call these iterations as sprints from now on. After each sprint, the team usually has a special type of session, aka retrospective session. In these sessions, all of the team members participate and contribute to making the upcoming sprint better than the previous one. They usually discuss what went super well and what could be improved and how in the sessions. Before digitalization, teams were using post-its, handouts, whiteboards, even walls to make the retrospective sessions productive. The thing is, you have to be in the same room physically with all the team members. As you can imagine, it's sometimes not even possible if you're a team from all around the world. With retrospective extension on Azure DevOps, we can use the lovely Azure DevOps interface and do the retrospective sessions online. We just need to install the extension from Azure DevOps Marketplace to our organization, which is a trivial thing to do. And then boom, when it's installed, it's ready to be used. Shameless plug, more than 28,000 organizations have been installed retrospective extensions so far. And I can tell you, numbers are getting higher and higher every day. It's also open sourced on GitHub, so you can contribute to it by adding new features to the code base, fixing issues or reporting issues. Contributing to the code base is fairly simple. I'm going to show you 3 different ways in this video. First option is dev container. Go to vsts-extension-retrospective repo on Microsoft Organization on GitHub and clone the repo locally. And then open it up with Visual Studio Code. And thanks to dev container definition, Visual Studio Code will notify that this repo has a dev container definition, and if you click Reopen in Container button, it will open up the repo in a special Docker container which has all the tools, SDKs and libraries in it. A small note, when you open the repo for the first time, it always takes longer to prepare the dev container for you. But next time it will be much quicker. And then you can start contributing right away. If you want to contribute to the dev container definition, it sits under .dev container folder. It has the settings that will be applied to Visual Studio Code when we open this folder, and the extension list that will be installed for this project. Also, there's a Docker file which defines what tools will be installed or what configuration will be applied to the development environment. Since all the tools, libraries, SDKs are installed into the dev container, you don't have to install anything to your computer. No need to install .NET, no need to install Node, NPM or anything on your computer. Let's go to Let's go to retrospective backend folder and run .NET Restore and .NET Build in this folder. As you can see, it works. Let's close the Visual Studio Code for now. Second option is to use Windows Subsystem for Linux. It's super easy to add a Linux subsystem to your Windows Dev box and configure it for your development needs. Go to Control Panel, find the Programs and Features, click Turn Windows Features on or off, scroll all the way down and check Windows Subsystem for Linux if it's not checked, and click OK. It will add an actual Linux kernel to your machine, but a bare Linux kernel usually doesn't enough. We need a Linux distro such as Ubuntu, Debian, Kali, SUSE, etc. Let's open up your favorite terminal, which is Windows Terminal for me, and check what Linux distros we already have. Run wsl-list. As you can see, I already have an Ubuntu installed on my machine. To check what we can install, run wsl-list-online. This command will list what Linux flavors you can add to your machine. And adding a Linux distro is super trivial. Run wsl-install-distribution and the name of a distribution, for example Debian. In seconds, it will ask you for a username and password. Let me set my credentials. I'm gonna pick Polatengin as my username and 1234 as my password, just for the sake of this video. And it's installed. Now I have a Debian on my machine. Let's close this window and rerun the last command. It will launch the Debian distro right away. And then I can easily update the app list, for example. Let me update the app list. Wait, update. It will ask me my password. Let's 1234. And now I can start installing required dependencies into this Debian distro now, like sudo apt-get install -y to confirm I'm gonna install the tools, like git and wget and maybe Node.js. I can install all the tools I'm gonna need for developing this extension. The thing is, you have to install all the SDKs and tools by your own, like .NET 5, Node 15, and etc. After that, you can open up a new Visual Studio Code instance, and here is a small and cute green button on the left bottom hand side of it, and click on this button, click Remove WSL new window using distro, and select Debian. Now I can clone the Git repo again in here and then open it. And now I can start contributing. When you finish your contribution and want to get rid of this development environment, thanks to WSL, it's super simple. Just close the Linux distro and open up a new PowerShell window and run WSL-unregister and the name of the distro you want to get rid of. Debian in my case. And it's gone. There is no leftover from this development environment on my machine. All the tools, libraries, configuration, everything is deleted now. I have a system as clean as before I start contributing to the retrospective extension. Third, and I believe the most easy option to contribute to the extension is to use code spaces. Go back to vsts-extension-retrospectives repo on Microsoft Organization on GitHub and click Open with Code Spaces button. It will list the code spaces you have. I have a code space for this extension already on my GitHub account. And if you don't have a code space yet, you just need to click this plus new code space button. And when you have a code space, just click the code space you want to open. It will open up a Visual Studio Code instance in your favorite browser, and it is Microsoft Edge in my case. And all the tools, SDKs, everything will be installed in this instance thanks to Dev Container configuration. So you don't have to install anything on your computer. You don't even have to clone the project. And then you can start contributing right away, literally in seconds. Small note, when you open the repo for the first time, it always takes longer to prepare the code space for you, but next time it will be much quicker. So the repo has two main parts, front-end and back-end. Back-end is just a .NET 5 project, and it's actually a proxy between the front-end and a Signaler service. Front-end, on the other hand, is a plain React project, and we are using TypeScript to make sure that all the code is strongly typed and no funny errors in the code. Let me show you the most important files. Obviously, package.json is one of them. We have all the dependencies listed in here. There's vss-extension-dev and -prod.json files. So these files are the manifests files for the Azure DevOps Marketplace. We just need to increment the version in here when we want to publish a new version or release a new version. In the SRC folder, here we have the HTML for the extension, which is only for loading the React app. Let me do a sample publish to the marketplace, to my own internal marketplace publisher account. I'm gonna open up my account, and as you can see, the dev version of the extension is at 1.0.111 at the point I record my screen. I'm coming back to the manifest file, and I'm gonna increment the version to 112. And then I'm gonna open up the terminal here, and let's go to retrospective frontend folder and install npm. And run npm build. And lastly, let's run npm run packd. And when it's done, we can find the VSIX file in this location. We just need to download it. And when it's downloaded, we just need to go back to our publisher account, publisher page, and then click this triple dot menu, and then click update button. We just need to drag and drop that downloaded file in here and click this upload button. Literally in seconds, the extension will be updated and we can start using it. Happy face!